Welcome back to ECS Europe. We are going into our map 2 of Envy versus Fnatic. My name is Tom, this is Harry, and I did it this time, so you don't have to do it again.
There we go. Yeah, we're heading into map number 2. We already saw EnVyUs completely mop the floor with the Swedes in the first map on Dust. It finished off incredibly well for EnVyUs. They were playing out of their mind. You had Kenny turning up. There was MBK, who was playing probably the best I've seen him play in a while. And it was just a spectacle indeed. Fnatic now, they have to try and come back on the second map of the night, which is going to be Cobblestone. And we spoke a little bit about it in the pre-game, of course. You're voting, sorry, for Fnatic. And
I'm hoping for the split. I want to see a closer game, because I do think if Envy obviously play like they did in the last map, then there's not going to be any competition. If MBK can just fire off, but even he's saying on Twitter, like, Dust 2, everything clicked. Cobble's a different game, and it's the same as yesterday. We sort of saw things fall apart. Twist wasn't even on the map for Cash, and then he came into Cobble and everything just clicked. He stepped up and they decimated VP. So they are a team that can just go from literally minutes in between to, okay, we're playing pretty bad, okay, we've now just beaten the best team in the world. It doesn't really make much sense the way that Fnatic rolls, so I'm sort of hoping that will stick true and we'll get an exciting match. I don't want to see a whitewash, although it was great to see MBK and have that sort of one-sided match where they decimate Fnatic. I want to see a close game. I want to see an exciting game, and that's what we've come to expect from these two organizations, at least in the past, where they have been two of the best teams in the world.
Yeah, no, okay, that is a very valid point indeed. It would be nice as well to see a closer game today.
Like an old style Fnatic Envy.
I do agree with you there. That would be quite refreshing to say the least. A key thing for me is can MBK keep it going? Will Apex kind of step back into it a little bit? Because he was a little bit quieter in Dust than we would normally like to see. I mean, kind of referred to as probably one of the best entry fraggers in the world.
It's hard to be a great entry fragger when there's no entry frags left.
Yeah, I mean, okay, MBK does just, he's kind of stolen the title for that map. So yeah, it's understandable. He came in, he's showing, you know,
there were a few rounds, like the round where he actually drops down into CT and takes 2 frags long range on the 2 players waiting. So yeah, it's not like he was having a bad game. It was just that MBK was having a better one. So I don't think that's any problem. Whereas on this map, I think it's much more of an idea of, okay, well, he is the pinnacle player. He's the player who goes into drop and finds those frags. When he finds them, they normally win the round. When he doesn't, then things can sometimes go a little bit wrong. So I definitely think that he's going to be the player to watch. Of course, Kenny on the CT side is going to be the other. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see whether or not we will have a different round at least. I do think, we sort of spoke about this yesterday, that Olaf has always been very, very good over towards the plat position and sometimes can just explode onto the map as well and just find themselves the kills. Is that a spray? I don't even know what I'm looking at.
I believe that is the little secret thing in over towards the B long. If you didn't know it was there.
No, I did not know it was there.
Yeah, look, see, it's like, there you go. Our spectator just showed it off to us. Yeah,
learn something new every day.
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. There you go. That's a little fact for anyone else watching who didn't know. But yeah, we already see Fnatic starting on the CT side, 3 of them in towards the B side straight off the bat. And while EnVyUs are going to try and go aggressive early on, land out their smoke to try and cover the approaches. It looks like they want to try and take a bite out of B.
Yeah, aggressive push on the CT side. They'll fall back at the wrong time. The timing works out wonderfully. Sixer MBK will start things off. It's now Lekro on the side trying to maneuver himself around the statue and trying. It's the primary word there. Twist. Well, he finds one and then he's done. And Olaf is the last one left alive. He is going towards his ever-known plat position. Sixer will be throwing out the decoy, but loses his head for that very reason. And Walt Kenny's going to get tagged low as well. A lot of damage currently being done by Olaf. Maybe there's an opportunity. I'm not sure if there was actually a kit and play on the CT side, so maybe there's something to pick up. If not, he does have to move very, very quickly to get himself back into this round. And it is MBK and Kenny ready to try and stop him from doing that. Nice little flick, though. Looking for the last, spamming away, and he will get it.
Yeah, an incredible play there from Olaf. 1 versus 2 up against, 2 kind of highlight players on the side of EnVyUs and takes them both down. Just enough time to get that defuse in. Picks up 3 frags in that round. And this could be the resurgence of Fnatic here. That's exactly what you want to be seeing. And you know the expression, start as you mean to go on. And that's exactly what they're doing now. They pick up the pistol round. And now we're going to be going into the anti-eco, which hopefully they can go ahead and get under their belt.
Yeah, no, of course it is Envy. It's Envy on the anti-eco round. They do actually buy into this one. So after getting the bomb down, they decide to continue and buy up in this as well. They've got themselves the Tech 9s, a couple of Deeks to play with as well, and head armor on every single player. Now, no surprise they're going to be making their way towards that B site. Or even as Dan said in the sort of beginning segment that they did used to just rush B. A lot of damage has been done by utility though. Apex down to 42 HP, MBK on 67, and Kenny and Sixer getting a little love by it as well.
Yeah, they are going to be falling quite low early on, and that's going to be much to the dismay of EnVyUs. Fnatic looking to be in quite a good place currently. 3 UMPs as well to try and farm up some cash on the back of Fnatic. Jumping down in towards that drop down. Now it's going to be Lekro taken down first as Apex does find the entry. Going to trade things out just yet, but Olaf finds one frag, going to find the second as well, finds a third. Olaf just going huge, picks up another 3 frags once again. Apex goes aggressive through the smoke, but is going to get traded out by Dennis. And well, now it's Wenton and Dennis at first is Happy, and sadly, Happy bites the bullet. He's going to have his head taken off as Dennis picks up 2 frags at the end. This is to secure the second round on the board for Fnatic.
Yeah, nice round from Olaf. Saves them from everything falling apart there. Just manages to pick up 3 quick frags that turns the round on its head. And well, now it is back to just straight pistols once again. We know that they like to invest in those second rounds when they get the bomb down, but it does sometimes cause them the factor that they're not able to get the AKs into the third. So it will be a 4th round buy, no problems on that standpoint, but it will be Sixer and MBK with the Deegs, a few other pistols in the form of PT-50s to try and fight this one off. And well, there he is again on flat. Olaf spraying away, trying to get himself some early damage.
Yep, Olaf being a driving force for the side of Fnatic, currently 6-1, and let's try and build it up even more. Picks up 1 frag, but it's going to get taken down, leaving it all on Dennis. Try and hold this off. Able to get 1 out onto Sixer, but Apex is there to trade things out. And then they also manage to take down Lekra out on towards the B site. Bomb's going to be making its way down. It's all on Twist and Wenton, the SMG brethren, to try and retake this site in a 2 versus 3.
Yeah, it will be a decent round. Somehow, Envy have actually made this one relatively close. Of course, they actually have the man advantage at this point. It's SMG's pushing back in already with Twist will grab one, but it's Kenny to quickly trade. Now it is all down to Happy. He's in the perfect position, and Envy, they've pulled a round out of absolutely nothing, get themselves an M4. They're now going into a buy as well, and look at the Fnatic economy.
Yep, so much money on the side of EnVyUs, and well, Fnatic, they're going to be on the back foot, having to bite the bullet here and try and eco. You got $5,300 on Wenton. He will be able to drop a few pistols to his teammates, of course, but wants to try and keep as much money as he can to go into the 5th round buy, get an AWP up on the side of Fnatic to try and put that to good use. It's going to be number 4, though. 1-2's the scoreline currently as EnVyUs, like you said, they pluck around seemingly out of thin air. Turn that one around when they really shouldn't have been able to. Setting up once again, looking like they're going to be trying to head in towards this B site. Sixer and Apex wants to try and open things up. Smoke's making their way on through, and Olafmeister playing aggressively once again up towards the plat. It's going to be the first man to try and break the engagement. Does find one. Sorry, it's going to get taken down by Sixer. Sixer finds a second as well. Takes down Lekra. He's opening up this B site completely as he's just shattering the defenses of Fnatic currently. Twist is going to fall as well. Dennis lurking in the smoke is going to go unnoticed. It might be able to wreak some havoc here. Does have the 5-7 in hand, and Kenny does find one on the way. They're going to spot out Dennis, and sadly, that smoke play isn't going to bring anything into fruition.
Yeah, that is the round done and dusted. Now, you look at the sort of buy that's going to come in. There will have to be a bit of a skimp. Lekro with the mag in play, and doesn't look like they're going to have an AWP either onto this CT side. So the good start from Fnatic quickly fell on tough times after the sort of last round. Now, the interesting thing here is that there's still a MAC-10 and a Tech 9 onto the Envy side, so possibly a little bit of a misread in the economy. They do have plenty of utility and still 3 rifles in play, and Twist, well, he's going to get pushed, and he's going to find both. Nice start to the round for Fnatic, able to bounce back into this one, but still 3 rifles in the hands of the T side, so they haven't lost too much as of yet.
Yeah, they're able to find those 2 frags, and now they do managed to grab control of Long as well out the hand of EnVyUs. EnVyUs trying to capitalize on this by making their way up through mid instead to rush down these 2 Fnatic players. Wenton just looking to get the hell out of there, backing up Twist as well. They're going to be able to pop flash themselves away. MBK towards mid does take down Twist, and that's going to be Wenton kind of stuck here out towards Long, but he doesn't care. Going to find a second frag, finds a third as well, and Wenton just locks that one away for Fnatic as they go 2-3, and they retake that lead once again.
Yeah, the problem they have, though, is that round was a little bit of a bonus coming in. You have to remember, Apex and Kenny had next to nothing invested, and that does mean that in the next, well, it is going to be a straight buy back up for the T side. They're looking to reset that CT economy once again, leave them in a troublesome predicament, and already you can see the difference. Kenny with the AWP, Apex with a rifle, full utility, everything needed.
Yeah, pretty much everything either side is going to be needing up into this round, actually. Plenty of utility on the side of Fnatic and EnVyUs, as it's a fairly even buy across the board. You've got the Mag 7 up on Lecro as well, a personal choice, and personal fan favorite as well. No AWP on the side of Fnatic, though, interesting enough, as they want to just try and make it work with the rifles by the looks of things. Kenny S is going to be boosted up over the top of the box, as he might have spot out one frag on the Dennis as he makes his way up platform. Well, this would be the start that EnVyUs need to make their way towards this B site. Can just see over the smoke as it starts to fade, but Dennis playing in the cubby hole isn't going to be spotted out just yet.
Oh, here goes Apex. This is a spot we wanted to see him in, over towards drop, looking for that first pick, looking like he's about to try and drop down into the Molotov. Lecro got to be ready and waiting, and well, there we go. The first kill comes in, Apex with another, looking for the third, and this is exactly what we wanted to see from him. Steps up massive into the round, 3 entry kills onto the site, leaving just 2 remaining, twiddling their thumbs, trying to think of what to do in this scenario, and that is exactly what we wanted to see from Apex.
Yeah, 100%. 3 fast frags as well to secure EnVyUs the B site and the bomb plant, as well as the round win, because Fnatic, I mean, they get completely shut out, leaving it all on Twisted Wenton, and well, they don't have a lot of time, they don't have a lot of HP, and they are going to be at a 2-man deficit, so they're going to be looking to save. The economy on the side of Fnatic is looking incredibly weak. If they save up these 2 rifles, then we will be seeing a buy next round. But Happy, he doesn't want that to happen. Going to find one into Wenton, looking for the second as well. Twist only on 22 HP, we'll be able to find that frag. But now that's going to signal his position to the rest of EnVyUs, and you can tell, like dogs on the hunt, they're making their way through, trying to find him. And Twist, only 22 HP, ready to try and hold on to this.
Oh, I wonder if Kenny actually spotted him there. It doesn't matter. Six is going to be the one to take the kill and bring this back to a 3-3 scoreline. Now, in terms of money, this is where things will hit Fnatic quite hard. They do have themselves a reasonable round in the last and didn't force up any of the sort of rifles they had, but it doesn't make a difference. They're still only going to be with the pistols. Couple of Deegs bought up, and you have to remember, after 1 round win and 1 round loss, they go straight back to the minimum loss bonus, so they don't really have too much they can invest on the remaining players who didn't have extra cash. It means after this round they'll still be only getting $1,900, which is not anything to really go crazy about. And while in terms of this round at the moment, all we're really seeing is Wenton going for a little bit of early aggression, trying to challenge against MBK.
Yeah, the rest of EnVyUs, meanwhile, over towards this B site. Apex once again be peeking out in towards drop. Maybe to find one on a Twist, who is going to be opting to fall on back. And now they stack all 5 players on the side of Fnatic in towards this B site. They rotate Wenton off of A. He was formerly aggressive, facing off against MBK in mid. Now we're going to be falling back towards this B site. Well, that's going to be well met, as EnVyUs, all of their players are here ready and waiting to make their way on in. And the information from MBK isn't going to be holding any reasons to why they should rotate in towards A. He hasn't pushed up enough yet to find out that it is a B stack. And as a result, EnVyUs were looking like they were going to play straight into their hands. But I mean, as MBK starts to push on up, he kind of calls, you know what, guys, maybe this is a stack and wants to be. The intuition kind of kicking in. Happy going to be able to find the first, playing the lurker off, finds second out on a Twist, looking for a third as he does get taken down. Dennis is able to find him. It's going to be a 4-on-3 as EnVyUs, they take the A site, and Fnatic, well, are still all the way over on B.
Yeah, at least they have managed to get a rifle out of this, so there is still a potential investment. I would say maybe giving it over towards Dennis, so as Kevlar, and just having him save with the Deeg as well, maybe the more valuable, or just giving the Deeg over to Lecro to go for a bit more of a challenge. Instead, it is going to be Dennis saving his Deeg, and Kev trying to play a little bit further back. Lecro will just be holding with the AK. Of course, we know this guy can hit those 1 taps. He pretty much got picked up straight out of FPL for just being an absolutely phenomenal aimer, so there's no doubt he has the talent to hit these shots. Dennis is going to be up close, looking maybe for a second rifle, but Apex, well, again, this time not really entering onto the site, but still jumping through drop, taking the headshot, and that will give them another round on the board of the T side.
Yeah, EnVyUs storming ahead. Currently going to be... why would I say that? It's not storming ahead, but they've been looking good. I mean, okay, with the exception of the pistol round, you know, Fnatic, they have been able to get those first 3. EnVyUs now on 4, though. I'm going to be taking the lead. And, you know, quite rightly so. They've been playing very well so far. We've seen quite decent performances on the side of Apex, which is going to be nice to see. Currently 9 frags, first for his team. And, you know, slightly quieter on the side of MBK, only at 5 right now, but there's still plenty of time for him to make his way into this one. EnVyUs are looking to go aggressively in towards his B site. Send their players in fast and off the bat once again, trying to find these opening frags as they make their way through on the platform on the side of Fnatic, but not going to yield anything just yet. MBK actually going to be the one playing the lurk roll over towards A this time. We've seen him do that quite a few times in the past. is going to be in a good position to try and find some frags, potentially now rendezvousing the rest of his team, and looking like they want to try and make something happen in towards B. A lot of it is going to come down to whether or not Apex could find these frags he's been finding so consistently in towards drop.
Yeah, that is going to be the big factor once again. In terms of CT utility, they are starting to struggle a bit. It's only flashbangs 1 HE, which I don't know how much damage that can really expect to do. Apex will smoke one side. Lekr, he needs to find this frag, and he's not going to quickly peek out. Looks for the second, doesn't quite manage to get it, but he will just be continuing to be a pain. Finally, Ventum will end him and give the opportunity to Olaf to try and find this frag, but in the meantime, Happy finds another, and now the push coming out onto plat. It will be Olaf to challenge, and MBK, while he entries this time, Happy finds another, and this leaves just Twist, and while the Twist at the end as he loses his head.
Yeah, it's going to go 5-3. EnVyUs once again, pulling ahead early on. They've got a 2-round advantage now as they take another round on the board. They're going to put Fnatic in a very horrible place in regards to their economy as well, putting them on the back foot once again. $4,000 up on Lekr is going to be the only kind of shining light throughout this darkness that is the 9th round. He's going to be able to buy up the 5-7 in armor, but I mean, it's a very small bit of compensation for what is otherwise a bit of a throwaway round.
Yeah, I'm looking at Lekr at the moment. He keeps losing that 1v1 fight, and it is a bit of a problem at the moment. He's getting an assist every single time, which does say that he is doing a bit of damage, but the problem is either he has the rifle and just loses, or he has the Mag 7 and doesn't get the kill. At least this round, well, he does have a little bit of something to play with, as you said. Spams away, and again, it's Happy to finish him off in drop, and it's not look like he's having a good time over towards that drop-down position. I'm wondering if maybe they should try and switch their drop hold up a little bit, have it a little bit more passive with him outside, and possibly not have someone so aggressive on plat so that even if they do lose drop, they're not going to die instantly, because that was one of the problems that Dennis seemed to have. He was so far forward that the second you lose drop, he's instantly dead. He has no hope. He has to either take the shot to drop himself or just pray that the other player misses, and well, at the moment it doesn't seem that anybody on this MV lineup is missing. Happy, well, he's cleaning up these eco frags again, leaving just Dennis onto the site. He has himself a little bit of Kevlar, maybe wants to look to try and pick up a rifle as well. But other than that, there isn't too much hope for him in this round.
Yeah, especially not with EnVyUs circling around like vultures, or perhaps like moths to a flame being a more apt comparison. They do take him down. It's going to go 6-3, and now 3 rounds to the advantage of EnVyUs. And I mean, yeah, like you said, they've got so much money, $13,000 on MBK. I mean, he's just stacking it up. He can afford base. I mean, I don't know. I was going to make some horrible joke about the things he could buy with that much money, but I'd just save myself the hate and not do it. It's going to go 6-3 though, and Twist finally gets an AWP up on the side of Fnatic. Going to be peeking out towards mid. Can't spot anyone out just yet, but there are players here on the other side of that smoke, just lurking through it. Might be able to go for a bit of aggressive play and potentially find a frag. Apex, MBK, and 6 are a truly terrifying triple, community of people there outside of the door. Are going to be waiting. I would have find anything out of it. Yeah, there you go. That was the word I was looking for. Thank you. You could tell I was struggling. God, that was horrible. That was really. I need a thesaurus.
Yeah, just type in the word you're thinking of, and then have the little like Microsoft Word switch it up and give you something more interesting. Either way, it will be the T's pushing aggressively at the moment. They've taken a lot of map control over towards the A site. In terms of the hold from the CTs, there's 2 players available, and yeah, it's a little bit dark in here at the moment, guys.
Yeah.
You can't actually see what we're doing. We're just
Hope you guys are enjoying this angle. There we go, just a little bit behind the scenes. It's incredibly dark where we are, almost as dark as the chances for Fnatic right now. It's going to be 6-3, and while they're making their way through the A site, as EnVyUs, they storm on through. 5 players left. Dennis able to find one out, and Happy. It goes 4-on-3. Going to be making his way up in towards the balcony, trying to find a second. MBK's playing this one close. Flash going to make its way out. Smoke hits as well, and that's going to completely render that position useless. The 3 remaining members of Fnatic looking to try and retake this A site, but they don't have a lot of utility and they don't have a lot of time left on the clock.
Yeah, well, now you have to look towards whether they're actually going to go for this or whether they're going to save a lot of after plant positions on the A site, and there's plenty of long range spots you can actually take, as well as actually just sitting onto the site itself. Twist will manage to find one back, and this may actually give them an opportunity to get back into the round. However, with Dennis, he's only going to grab himself one, and well, that will be pretty much it. They're going to fall back. Sixer will save the AWP and give it back over to Kenny in the next. And, well, I don't think EnVy are going to have any problems with 3 of their players almost on the max cash.
Yeah, no, not at all. And, well, I mean, yeah, they're going to be in a very good place to continue this momentum on. I mean, you've got $13,000 on the back of Kenny S. That's going to leave him in a situation where he can buy, Orbis in the next 3 rounds if he so wanted to. And, well, I mean, with only 4 rounds left of the half, it's looking incredibly good. EnVyUs are in a situation where they can afford to buy up kind of no matter the outcomes of the next couple of rounds. So once again, in a position to potentially kind of get into the double-digit mark. Certainly not off the cards. But into this round, Twist actually changing it up, not opting to play over towards A, instead taking the fight towards platform. And it's a good read. EnVyUs, they are here with 4 of the members looking to try and find an entry frag. And while Twist, he's going to be the one to try and shut them down with that orb.
Yeah, well, finally he has that in play. I want to see if he can actually make that sort of aggressive peaks that we know he's good for. Because that was one of the main sort of parameters of me saying that Fnatic were going to win this one, was that Twist would be on the board. And so far, well, not so good. He's going to go for the peek into the Molotov, and both players blind does give him the opportunity to do so. Of course, he has to be careful because Kenny is going to be waiting, but, well, not Kenny. It's Sixer. Takes his head clean off with the aggressive peek. Once again, Twist will achieve nada in this round. And while already now we see the push coming in towards the site, Apex wins the duel for something like the 5th, 6th time now versus Lecro every time, and then peeks out and finds an extra kill for himself as well. Sixer combines to get his 2nd, and this leaves just Wenton left to try and fight versus 5.
Yeah, it's not going to be looking too good here for the lone Swede. Trying to stand alone, does have the M4 in hand, a little bit of utility to try and play around with, but ultimately just going to be looking to try and save. Apex makes his way out A, and it's actually going to be walking straight past Wenton, as is Kenny S by the looks of things. He's actually letting almost every member of EnVyUs sneak on past, but he's going to get spotted out by Apex and taken down. Wenton, sadly, just treating him a bit like a T-Rex, just standing still, doesn't want to, utilize the movement. Once again, we're going to be talking about dinosaurs, but yeah, no, I mean Apex is very akin to the prehistoric predator that is the T-Rex.
The T-Rex known for the, oh, if I don't look at you, you won't look at me. That was great. Either way, I'm still wondering if Fnatic are actually going to change up their drop control, because if I make Apex at this point, his exact strategy is, okay, let's go down drop, peek to the left. That is where Lecro is every single time. Like that has been... He's literally found that kill every time in the same spot. Lecro hasn't changed anything. He hasn't tried going close. He hasn't tried holding window. It's just the same thing every single time. And that doesn't really sort of help when they're going to try and challenge this. Maybe he'll be able to take down Happy. But at the same time, you look at the rest of their buy, and it doesn't have too much utility behind it. It doesn't have really anything behind it. It's just a few rifles, a scout onto Dennis. And even, well, Wenton, one of the rifles is going to be lost very early in the round.
Yeah, MBK does find that frag. It's still allowed to start to make the way in towards the A site. Only Twist here to hold this one down. Apex is going to be finding that first frag. And, well, that's going to help open up the site now. There's only 3 members of Fnatic left to try and make their way on through. Lecro with the mag. It's going to be taken down as, sorry, Dennis is going to be taken down. As Happy makes his way in from behind, playing the lurk roll as per usual. And now Lecro and Olaf stuck in this 2 versus 4. Olaf is able to find one. Lecro trying to go in with the mag 7 at close range. He's going to get taken down as well. Now it's all on Olaf Meister at 1 versus 4. They're hunting him down. He doesn't want to give up this AK.
Yeah, he really doesn't want to give up this AK. They don't have too much to play with anyway, so they want to try and keep this into the next round. But Kenny, he says no, and they get the team ace. Every single player picking up a frag for the EnVy side, and it's starting to get a little bit more like the last map, just running over this Fnatic side, and they're just on a force buy saga themselves. They're going to buy again and again and again and just try and make something worse. This time only Dennis will actually fully invest, so it is just going to be some pistols in play on the remaining players, and that does mean that in the next round they will have 5 rifles across the board and possibly an AWP, or maybe 2. That could be the avenue that actually changes this game. We know that they have multiple AWPers. Either way, in terms of the T side, well, Happy's going to go very aggressive, taking a lot of plat control. Has to be a little bit careful, but the majority of the team are going the other way, and Kenny's going to catch Twist. Happy's going to catch Olive, and already things are falling apart.
Yeah, Happy finding a second on the lurk in towards the B site. Lecro is able to find the return frag better late than ever, but it's still a 4-for-1 trade in total in favor of EnVyUs, leaving it all on Lecro. 1 versus 4, and I mean, I'm not going to lie, Tom, he's been struggling with his 1 versus 1, so I mean, not the best odds heading into this. Does have the AK, so he can be looking to save, and of course, if he does save, it's going to bode well, but you can't even talk about that because MBK is just going to, tear through his face, which is a pretty gruesome picture indeed. It's going to go 10-3 as EnVyUs, they reach double digits, and Fnatic, the buy is going to be lackluster, to say the least. Well, no, it's not. But
no, they saved
the economy. Yeah, no, sorry. I keep saying the wrong words. The economy is going to be lackluster, to say the least. We've only got, what, $350 left in total. So if they lose this, it's not going to be in a good place for the last round.
No, it will pretty much be just loss bonus once again, and any kills they get from frags, which isn't going to be the most helpful thing in the world. Double ops will come in, so Olaf and Twist this time, so they've taken that switch up. They're trying to make things work in a different way, and maybe that'll be the avenue that actually works. Twist is going to be taking the AWP over towards the A site this time, so they have actually switched up the style of play at least. Apex will be going for the entry kill over towards him on long, but actually decides to go a little bit more passive after the nade is thrown out and decides that it's not a good idea to just go running through the smoke.
Yeah, Twist over towards long. Out to find one into MBK. Finally, we're going to see Fnatic start with the man advantage, and well, no one's there for EnVyUs just yet to try and get the trade flag. Flash is going to be making its way on out, but still, it's not going to be coming on through just yet. They do relinquish the control of long over towards Twist. Apex looking like he wants to try and go for some sort of peek here. Happy as well lining up for it, so they're going to be trying to double peek out on the Twist, but Twist finds a second on a Happy, looking for the third as well as KennyS misses that shot. And well, that's going to signal his position. That lone Swede here over in the corner, but Kenny's able to find that fast flick up on a Twist. Wented chimes with one, and Apex Olaf as well with the AWP in hand. Takes down Sixer, but Kenny still coming up. Able to find second frag, sorry. Out onto Wented. Is only going to have 1 HP and a Dream. Of course, the whole weight of EnVyUs on his shoulders, which you know is quite a bit.
Yeah, at this point anyway. The last few rounds, maybe not so much, but at the moment, yeah, this is 3 players waiting for him. Of course, even if he stops them getting that secondary AWP, that could be a great position for them because it's just going to be a problem in terms of their actual buy. It does look like they should have an opportunity to actually go and retrieve it. And Kenny, even with the mountain of cash that they've had, he's decided he just wants to save into this round.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, I suppose it does mean that they get 1 less AWP on the side of Fnatic. So, yeah,
if they wanted that triple AWP setup, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, we've seen crazier things, but yeah, it's going to be 10-4 currently in EnVyUs. They've got so much money to buy up into this round. They had 3 players on 16K at the end of the last. They're going to have more than enough money to buy into this, and then some. Still $10,000 across most of the players. KennyS still only on 16 grand. Don't know where he's been investing his money, but whatever he's been doing, I'd love to know. Twist in mid with the AWP in hand. Tries to find one, but it's going to get flashed out and taken down as Apex and Sixer combined to find that frag. Now it's all going to leave Wented over towards long. In a 1 versus 5, waiting for his teammates to rotate on through. They do make their way through to the site. Happy's just going to be caught, you know, lurking, doing what he does best, but he's going to get taken down in the process, looking completely the wrong way. And, well, it's actually Dennis to go aggressive out on the site to find the bomb planter in the form of Sixer, but he's going to get traded out by MBK. Now it's all on Olaf, 1 versus 3. And it's going to be a very hard round for him from this point on.
Yeah, he pretty much has to just go ham like he did in the pistol, and MBK doesn't like that idea at all. It will be the Apex MBK show towards the end, and while Apex, we spoke about him on this T side in the build-up, I was saying how if he just goes phenomenal on these entry frags on Cobble, they're not going to stand much of a chance, and well, he's 20-7, almost done the exact same thing that happened with MBK, and maybe that's why MBK is a little bit further down the board this time. As said, if there's no entry kills to get, you can't get them.
Yeah, no, definitely so. And, you know, that once again...
They've switched spots, pretty much.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. It once again stands testament, like you said, and MBK a little bit quieter this time. Apex just coming up huge, 20 frags currently. And then, there you go, our producer's showing off Lecro. 2 frags to his name. And at this point, I think Olaf's probably wishing he'd be pushing E on him just to take that one over and just, you know, get some frags of his own. But anyway, Fnatic trying to go aggressive in towards drop. No one here to contest him, and they do get connected control. This is going to allow control over the rotations for MBK. He doesn't care for that. He's going to be able to find one. Twist is able to trade things out, but Happy playing in these doors.
The bomb.
He's going to be able to drop the bomb, like you say. Apex chiming in one of his own on a Twist, the player who was meant to be coming in for the return frag. They're not ready for Olaf, though, lurking in towards long, as he does find one out onto Apex. And now it's a 2-on-2.
Yeah, it's definitely the 2 players you want for the Fnatic side, but make that only 1. It's Olaf again. He's got to try and clutch out a second pistol. Last time 1 versus 3, but the HP was a little bit lower for the players he was up against. He will get the bomb plant, which will know exactly where he is now for the remaining CT players, and they're going to peek together. Sixer goes out aggressively, and now they're just trying to find a crossfire frag. Eventually, he will fall, and Sixer with the Tech 9 to finish things off. Another team ace coming out from Envy, so definitely not that it is just 1 player overall. People are stepping up all across the board, and well, now that's the pistol going 12-4 up onto the CT side, and you do have to get a little bit scared now for the Fnatic side. Now, in terms of the buy, they could go for it now, or we could see them save and go for the AKs, which normally is more common, but with these 2 teams, they do seem to love those Tech 9s.
Yeah, no, I mean, they do, like you say. But, I mean, one thing to look at as well, when you look at the points, you know, just solely, 26 points on Olofmeister right now. That's, of course, including the kills and the bomb plants and everything. But Happy's on 27, and he's last place currently for the side of EnVyUs. Yeah. Even when you look at the frags as well, there isn't that much of a difference between the bottom fragger on EnVyUs and then the top fragger on Fnatic. Meanwhile, in this round, though, Twist able to find one out on Apex. Does secure an early man advantage for the side of Fnatic and grabs an MP9, which is notoriously probably one of the best weapons in the game.
Especially when you have no armor, of course.
Yeah.
It's almost as if that's the weapon he was looking for. Either way, there's still two rifles playing the longer range positions, and Kenny is just going to be with the Tech 9, pushing out right into the belly of the Beast, but the Beast is a little bit limited at the moment. They don't have too much to play with. We'll get him down to low HP and Happy. Well, there's one MP9 kill, looking for a little bit more. We'll spam away, and they're just pushing right into him. Gets 3. Nice little $1,800 made by Happy. And while overall they keep the 2 rifles, Kenny gets the survival. They really lose as an SMG or 2.
Yeah, no, I mean, and they can definitely afford to be doing that. They have such a big buffer on the side of EnVyUs. I mean, what, there's 9 rounds of difference between these two teams right now, and we saw during the first game there was 10 rounds throughout a lot of it. Now it's 9, so I mean, once again, an incredibly strong performance from them. And it has been the key players we spoke about in the pregame kind of really on the board, especially in the form of Apex right now. Happy as well, actually having a very good game. 16 frags currently. MBK being very reliable. Sixer being the one to kind of fall off a little bit, only on 9 frags right now.
It's not his job, to be fair. He's the sort of more supportive player, and he's been doing his job perfectly. Apex, even on the CT side, will be starting things off with a double. And yeah, no, I think Six has done a perfectly good job, definitely helping out all around the shop, and I don't think that EnVy are going to really care if he gets frags or not, as long as they're winning the games this consistently. Either way, it is going to be the one-man advantage. Of course, Apex does eventually get traded out, but the Ts still have to try and react, and this does give Sixer an opportunity to get a more aggressive point. They don't have any Molotovs or anything to push him out other than a pot flash, and to do that, they have to sort of cross over towards MBK as well.
Yeah, Fnatic right now, very little utility, and not a lot of information as to where EnVyUs are. Little do they know as they make their way towards this B site, they were going to be making their way into the more stacked out site. Olofmeister isn't going to be checking the cubby just yet. Pop flash going to be coming in, and that's going to allow Six to capitalize on it, but he doesn't find a single frag on the back of it. Olofmeister to trade things out, take him down before he can do too much damage to his teammates, and saves Wenton's life. Now it's a 3-on-3. Olof's going to get tagged down low, though, by Aiden. Kenny S finds the frag. Happy on the lurk, coming in from behind. It's a 2-on-2, but with Happy's positioning, it could very easily be mopped up here by EnVyUs. I don't think they'd be ready for him to be here just yet, and while he finds that first frag on Electro, Wenton's only got 5 HP in a dream. Is that going to be enough?
Well, the spot he's in is one that may be able to catch one, but then it gets a little bit more difficult. Happy peeks out, finds the angle, and, well, makes that look easy once again. It's going to be the 14th round on the board for EnVy in this matchup, and, well, my hopes of sort of Fnatic showing up and coming back are just not to be at the moment. They are on 4 rounds. The stars have not been showing up. Twist had a round or 2 where he got the AWP up, and we sort of saw something a little bit more exciting. Olaf has been trying to clutch out some of these rounds, but Letco, he's lost every single duel on drop down on the CT side. It just can't happen, and, well, with openings like that, it's not going to get any better, is it?
Yeah, no, not at all. Especially, you know, when you saw that, I mean, the CT side is where it kind of all fell apart for Fnatic. Now we're seeing them on the T side. They're trying to pick up the pieces and get back into it, but they're so far behind. It's going to be such an uphill battle into this round. Round number 19. It's 14-4. 10 rounds of difference between these two teams currently. And, well, Dennis trying to open things up in towards drop. It's going to be the first man down and making his way now in towards the B site. They're looking fairly dedicated as they send their 2 remaining players in through drop as well, leaving Wenton. Lecro out towards long. That could be the first to fall. Dennis gets taken down as well. MBK picks up 2 frags. Kenny chumming one of his own. MBK still up and running. Finds a 3rd on the board. Now it's all on Wenton and MBK in win number 4. That's the performances you want to be seeing. And as a result, he's been so incredibly consistent, just completely ruining the side of Fnatic. And it doesn't look to change despite being on Cobblestone this time around. 4 huge frags to allow EnVyUs to come through to match point.
Yeah, he's just in full MB King mode at the moment, or M Beast K, as I think it was DDK was saying. And it looks like an absolute trouncing at the moment. We will get to see the XM though. The auto shot, he finally comes out onto Twist. This has been the weapon that he's been bringing onto this map, or used to bring it on a lot more. We haven't actually seen it during this game. Then again, we haven't seen their T side during this game, so it's kind of difficult to really say whether or not it would have come in too much. Sixer is going to start things off over towards Plat. already looking a little bit bleak. They've got to go towards MBK, and that's the second time he's lined up 2 players in the last round. Make a third, and while there's only 1 player left, it will be Dennis. He's going to get dunked. Kenny to finish things off, and an even more dominating performance in the end. Yes, it started okay for Fnatic, but once again, they win the pistol, and they still only get 4 rounds. Yeah,
I mean, EnVyUs, incredible form as per usual. I mean, we saw MBK chiming in with a whole bunch of frags at the end. Apex did incredibly well, and Kenny with the AWP was just a driving force for that for their side. Six a little bit quiet. I know he was the support role, but still maybe a few opportunities where he could have picked out some frags.
Yeah,
the
flashbang towards the end.
Yeah, okay.
Other than that, I don't think that you could really say that he's not doing his role. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, and this team looks revitalized with him in the lineup.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Really excited to see what they have to offer. MBK had a great game towards the end, but I think the standout player for that map was definitely Apex.
Yeah.
The entries he was finding onto the B side was absolutely ridiculous, and was even able to do it over towards A. So I have to give props to him. He did exactly what I was saying at the beginning. I was like, if he steps up, they're going to win it, and they did. They won it quite easily. I was still hoping that Fnatic would come out. Twist was still sort of in his shell, had a few glimpses of hope. Lecro got decimated in drop down.
Yeah,
I think they definitely need to rework their setup in some way.
I was going to say, it is a bit of a shame that Fnatic were playing 4v5. I mean, you know, Lecro wasn't ever really there. He found 2 frags and 4 assists. That was it.
I just don't like the fact, like, if you lose a duel 5 or 6 times, you have got to change. Even if you lose it 3 times in a row, you can't just keep playing the same spot. Okay, maybe if I use a mag 7 this time. No, you're in the same place, and Apex is going to entry onto you every single time. Or Happy will do it. And I just think the fact that they didn't change, the one thing, say VP's CT side, the one thing I like about their CT side is you always have Taz in different areas. Maybe it'll be a window, or he'll go A, or he'll switch things up to make their CT side dynamic. From Fnatic, we saw the same thing again and again and again, and it didn't work, so they lost the game.
Yeah, stagnant is the word that comes to mind. But so there we go. We're going to be wrapping this one up. We'll be back after a short break with some more games for you all, and also the pre-shows. Thank you.